Hello, I'm Cherry B and I'm performing live tonight for Punk for the Homeless, and we're collecting money and fundraising as a fundraiser for the Girls Orphanage out in Sierra Leone. So please, if you could, there's raffle tickets and there's things going on. I've got some merch for my band as well, so if anybody wants to purchase any t-shirts or CDs, a huge percentage of that will go towards the charity as well. So if anybody wants to join in and ask, I'll show bits off a bit later. But I think it's always good to get going, get started. I have my daughter with me, just watching the bits popping up, just in case anyone says stop or go off or whatever might come up, any alarming bells. And also I need to add as well, there's a huge, I'm down in Essex, there's a huge storm going on outside with thunder and lightning. So it's adding to the dramatics of it all. How exciting. I can hear it. Okay, so I'm going to start off. So probably about the first 4 poems I'm doing today is all about women, different kinds of women, and some of the roles they play, and also the experience as well for me of being a woman in my final one I'm going to do. So I'm going to start off with a poem that I usually start a set off with. It's dedicated to all the punk mums out there, all the women that still like to have their hair dyed and dress up outrageously and like to embarrass their kids. So this is dedicated to all of you, and it's called Punk Mum. It must be very difficult as a millennial to develop your style, dressed to be unique and wild and feeling it's worthwhile. When you're dressed up in your outlandish gear and greeted with your dreaded fear, here comes mum, what will she say? Oh, that's a bit tame, love, wear it this way. 'Cause you try to rebel and you try to shop, but your mum's out partying around the clock. You tell her you don't want a tattoo and she says, what the fuck is wrong with you? She says your hair needs some colour and bleach. These are life skills that she'll teach, 'cause whatever you do, you won't shock her. She's a punk mum, she's done it all before. 'Cause she's forever swearing, but always caring. But then the wildness becomes unbearing. Why can't she settle and just be normal? Why can't the house be more formal? How come she knows every band you like? How come she's old yet childlike? 'Cause whatever festival you want to assert, she's been there, got the t-shirt. So how can you rebel and try something new when your punk mum's done it years before you? Try doing knitting, not gobbing and spitting. Try country walk, not a mohawk. Try being safe and vanilla and bland, and don't wish to be in a punk rock band, 'cause whatever you do, you won't shock her. She's a punk mum, she's done it all before. Thank you. Okay, thank you for watching and supporting and everything today. There's so many live streams on at the moment, and it's so amazing to see them all, especially when they go for good charities as well. So if you can help, please do. Okay, the next one I'm going to go back to the 1990s. That decade. That dangerous decade. And so this is an older one I wrote. It's about, it was at the time, it was the height of Britpop, the height of girl power, and a particular girl band that decided that they were the feminist warriors of the day. And they decided that because they met Nelson Mandela once, and they decided that what they were experiencing must feel like what he experienced. So yeah, I wrote this one for them. I've got a message for you, Spice Girls, because you think that you're so wild. Yeah, but my opinion is that you're positively mild. You burst on stage with pure attitude, screeching and screaming and trying to be rude. But any woman that's ever lived, we've done it all before. Yeah, we got our tits out in public, we've puked on the floor. But you claim that your girl power will free us all from men. But excuse me. But wasn't it the suffragettes that did it way back when? When women, we weren't empowered, but enslaved by our own gender. 'Cause you just want to shag young men and go out on a bender. So don't talk of politics when your brains are full of shit. You think that you're goddesses 'cause you've been such a hit. 'Cause your silly games are boring me. You've nothing new to say. 'Cause I'm a woman, not a girl, you see. And my power's here to stay. Thank you. Okay, Liberties, anything popped up, anything I need to see, just while I have a sip? So how are we all doing this rainy, stormy afternoon? How are we all doing? No more lounging around in parks or in gardens today, is there? Well, there might be for some.
Oh, the donation link's just been put in the comments, so.
Okay, lovely, wonderful. Donation link popped up, brilliant. Okay, so the next one I'm going to do. So there was a very famous poem I can't remember the poet's name, my apologies for that. And it was all about when you get older, as an old lady, and you start to wear purple. So, and I thought, well, that's a bit patronising really, and why wouldn't you choose to wear purple earlier in your life? So this is my version of it, and it's called Beige. Or Beige, as they like to say it in the full Essex accent, of course. There is a poem that praises ageing, but to me it's just pretentious staging. Wear purple, be inhibited, when you spent your life dull and prohibited. So set the standard, take a chance, try speed balling or move to France. Don't be moaning your life was a get living, get the taste. 'Cause I don't want when I reach an age, so please, please let me wear beige. 'Cause I don't do comfy, I don't do casual slacks. Not age appropriate and the coolness it lacks. I want to be myself, don't fall for the ageing trap. When you regret your youth and end up wearing crap. 'Cause I'm not interested in a cruise or a saga holiday. I bleach the fuck out of my hair so you never see the grey. Elasticated waistbands may sound desirable to some, but I promise myself I will not succumb. So please slap me hard if you see me look at some poor forsaken catalogue book. So please, please don't let me wear beige. It's not a little problem there. We had a little thing. That's a storm, you see. Is people back? Are we there?
Yeah, you've got 36 people on.
Whoa, okay, so there's a little pause there. Yeah, so don't let me wear beige, basically. That was the motto of that one. No, I don't like beige. Okay, so the next one I'm going to do, so I wrote this one a few years ago, and as a woman who performs on stage, there's sometimes a bit of vulnerability around that, especially when you've got your own opinions and you quite, you kind of got your own mind and you don't fall for certain, beliefs and things like that. So, and I wrote this in kind of response to that one day, and it's really kind of aimed at men that just don't let you be who you want to be. To all the men who have ever doubted me, to all the men who have ever shouted me, to all the men who have tried to clout me, this one goes out for you. To the sexist arseholes who try to shag me, to the racist bigots who try to gag me, to ignorant Neanderthals who try to drag me, this goes out to you. 'Cause as I stand here spouting, I remember all your doubting, because I represent your darkest fears of feminism after all these years. I'm not the stereotype that you see, because it's full of women just like me, who have the balls to stand on stage, who try to deflect your pointless rage. You cannot compute your brain, because it's too much of a strain. So let me spit for my slit, you ignorant git. Let me fight your right to spew your spite. Let me penetrate your vicious hate. Let me teach your speech to not impeach. Because the jealousy that you bear will not get you anywhere. So good night, you sad man, the one with a tiny footspan. The one who compensates for being small by being nasty, stupid and cruel. To all the men to dispute, I stand here to salute. Thank you for your opinions, you've made me stronger. Commiseration to your cock, your views won't make it grow longer. Thank you. Okay, anything popped up there, Liberty? Thank you for listening. Okay, right. So, because this is Punk for the Homeless, I wanted to also do another poem that I wrote earlier this year, and it's in response to really the kind of awful housing situation. It's not just that somebody's homeless, it's when their dignity and pride's taken away from them as well. And what a lot of councils and a lot of organisations doing at the moment is doing up office blocks. making them into tiny little rabbit hutches, renting them out extortionate prices, hardly doing any works to them, so they're just literally like one room hovels in that sense. And that's where I live in Harlow in Essex. It's rampant with them. There's loads of old 60s office blocks that have just been converted. Now, I am aware that our local council is starting to do something about this now, but I think all other councils need to take this on board. So this next one is dedicated to, well, it's all about, no, it's not dedicated to us, it's a shit situation, so I wouldn't dedicate it, but it's named after one of the most notorious office block conversions in this town, and it's called Terminus House. No planning permission needed here in this office block conversion. 14 floors are one-room homes, housed from social excursion. Half of all new housing adheres to this design. It's the human warehouse policy emerging from a production line. There's blood on the walls and decay on the floor. The council house the people they don't want to see anymore. Brutalism at its worst, the looming tower of shame. Money making profits from a cheap monopoly game. It's the urban concrete paradise for Londoners to try, but the reality hits and it ain't no Ritz and they're stuck and hung out to dry. This is lazy, vulturous greed that the council are backing. Please abolish permitted development rights. Housing laws are slacking. They wouldn't choose to live there. Shows their contempt for human pride. Making the homeless desperate where the shame is glorified. This creepy tower that shadows this town has a reputation full of fight. But if you treat people like wild animals, don't be surprised when they bite. Thank you. Okay. Okay, so getting warm now. It's sun's in, out, storm, whatever's going on. So the next one I'm going to do is about what we're experiencing and living at the moment. Okay, I'm just going to have a drink. Okay. So this is another new one, and it's really all about, I'm kind of likening to this lockdown and this situation we're all in, a bit like Alice in Wonderland. We're stuck in this hole and nobody knows what's doing, and roses are being painted different colours, and there's weird creatures around, and there's funny things going on, and nobody knows who's leading who or what's going on. So and this is it's going to be a new song from a band, Cherry and Peach, as well. So I'm going to read you the lines for this. It's called Wonderland is Calling. Wonderland is calling and my instincts are falling, 'cause fuck all will be the same again. Yeah, Wonderland is calling, society is appalling, but we're far too distracted to complain. So here we all are in this massive great hole. We cling to normality, but it's an unachievable goal, 'cause everything has changed and my mind has got deranged, and I try so hard to adapt to strange. I'm drinking every day. Piers Morgan seems okay. Yeah, what the fuck is happening to me? I'm locked down in my feeling, and my gardening is appealing, and my grey roots are taking over me. Mr. Johnson has disappeared. Yeah, it's what we all feared. His stolen drink from the poisoned chalice. We may have sunny days, but it's limited our ways. We live in Wonderland, like Alice. We are clapping the glory. We're dictated by a Tory, and the mist is coming down hard. It's hiding the truth from the polling booth, and it's us peasants they will discard. We discovered new words and much noisier birds, and we've adjusted things like shielding. But shopping is a danger, and your mother is a stranger, and it's only anxiety they are yielding. We think that we are winners, getting free delivered dinners, but furlough would take away our pride. We love our lazy days, but who gets the praise when full-time work will be denied? Don't think that you matter, 'cause their policies they shatter, and the borrowed money you will pay. 'Cause frontline staff are fodder, and they'll all live in squalor, 'cause this virus will never go away. Yeah, Wonderland is calling and my instincts are falling, 'cause fuck all will be the same again. Yeah, Wonderland is calling, society is appalling, but we're far too distracted to complain. Thank you. Whew, definitely need a drink after that one. I can hear the thunder. It's a great backdrop actually, especially when I'm getting angry. Okay, anything pop up there, Liv, for me to...
No, it's all good.
Okay, so really kind of bearing in mind the last one I just did then. That's it, the last one I did just then. And it's about, suddenly we're in this hole. And it's like, well, how did we get there? How did this happen? How did what's happening throughout the whole of the world at the moment, whether it's down in Sierra Leone where there's wars going on, whether it's in America where people are speaking out and protesting about what's wrong, how did we get here? What's the connection? Why is the two most probably richest, most powerful countries in the whole world have the highest rates of the virus? I'm just putting them questions out there, but one answer might be, who have we elected? Who have we let in to run these powerful countries? Who is it that's controlling them? The subtleties and the underlying tensions that are being bred and kind of whispered in our ear. So this is called Let the Fascists In. We'll open the door to your smiles and winks. We'll both agree on why this government stinks. You'll make me a promise and reassure my woes. You'll get me to sign with the party that knows. What is it that you're trying to say? That the NHS has had its day? That our kids are let down at school under this useless Tory rule? You are the voice of the common man who wants an immigration ban, who believes that Europe is too constrictive and that voting out is not afflictive. Because you're charming and subtle and you think you know what I need, but I'm not that naive to know which wolf you feed. Fascism hides in many guises, sometimes predictable but full of disguises. It finds a way to open your eyes. Once let in, you watch it rise. So how and where does it begin? Because it's not just the stupid that let it in. Learn how to spot the enemy, those deluded souls with no empathy. It starts with silence and apathy, feelings that you're never free. Then you hear a familiar voice, Hustings letter with your name, that speaks your language of anger and tells you who to blame. And all of this is reinforced by tabloid hatred fully endorsed. Because you're using democracy to get yourself in, because violence and bloodshed don't get the election win. No one admits to a fascist ideal, it just gets apparent when the shit gets real. No one admits to Nazi ideology, but it's what informs your nationalistic anthology. So when it arrives, dressed up all nice, wearing a suit and not a disguise, says, I'm your friend, I speak for you. There's only one thing we all must do. Take the questions of Tony Benn, ask them over and over again. Keep democracy honest and true by asking, how do I get rid of you? Thank you. Okay. This little time watch now, please. Let's see, what's the time?
It is just coming up to 5.
5, okay, that's fine, yeah. So I think I've got about, 2, maybe 3 more. Let me know, let me know, Gary, if that's all right, or Alex, is that any pop-up? Does it say, no, stop now? Or does it say, no, stop now, get off? Or does it say, go on, carry on?
It'll probably take a few minutes to go
Okay,
through.
all right. So in that moment, so if anybody does want any CDs or t-shirts from my band Cherry and Peach, just kind of message either on Cherry B or Cherry and Peach page, and certainly I should be can't even speak, donating. That's a t-shirt as well, that's the Punk Mum one. And this is another logo with pop art as well. So if anybody wants any of those, please just message via Cherry and Peach or Cherry B page, and I will make sure that half of that money goes towards this charity as well. All right, so brilliant, thank you.
Alex put, great, keep going.
Keep going, okay then, you might regret that. Okay, so, well, I kind of, after all that fascism and that angry, I kind of wanted to go back to love, really. Being nice, you know, because I didn't want to scare you all, but he is there laughing in the background. But I wanted to go back to a love story that only recently ended for me, really. And it broke my heart, but I thought I'd share it with you. So this is the love story, well, although some people call it a dirty sex story really, about my love for Jeremy. Well, I was reading The Guardian late last night when a picture of Trump gave me a terrible fright. And I thought to myself, just look at these politicians. I desire one with more interesting positions. Then he appeared in a cloud of socialist ideals, the man of my dreams on 2 bicycle wheels. Yeah, I've got the crush. I've got the Corbyn crush. I feel a rush, 'cause he's fucking lush. He was the Labour leader, but still MP for Islington North. But to me, he was my missionary fantasy, writhing back and forth. Ooh, let me stroke your corduroy patches. Let me adorn your back with scratches. Let me whisper down your megaphone. Tell me your manifesto and make me moan. Now, if we was on a train, you could sit on my lap. I'd feed you tofu and you could mind the gap. 'Cause your beard looks as soft as a Brexit plan. You're the archetypal lefty man. 'Cause Diane Abbott, she wasn't for you. Stand back, woman, 'cause I'm jumping the queue. I've got the crush. I've got the Corbyn crush. I feel a rush, 'cause he's fucking lush. Now I need you, Jeremy, to keep standing like a man. You didn't fear Theresa. She was working her retirement plan. 'Cause I want to be your parliamentary playmate. Let's have a televised mass debate. 'Cause I know you want to abolish tuition fees, but I just want you on your knees. 'Cause you're in your prime. You're the minister for me, my red-blooded man, politically. Yeah, I've got the crush. I've got the Corbyn crush. I feel a rush, 'cause he's fucking lush. See, bit of love, bit of lust as well, but there you go. Okay, so I've got two more to do this afternoon. Hope everyone's doing well. There's been such amazing acts on today. I've been peeping in and watching, and it's like really good, you know, good show of solidarity and strength coming ahead there, and that's brilliant. That's brilliant. Okay, so the next one is it's based on a campaign that was all over Facebook earlier this year, and it was it started because of there's always a high rise in suicides. That's the devastating thing about our society. And there was a campaign, Facebook campaign, be kind, put a nice little banner around to show how kind you are. And I think it seems to have disappeared. So this is called Be Fucking Kinder. Whatever happened to be kind? A philosophy and a reminder. We drift away from its value. Is the truth be fucking kinder? I can't stand bandwagons, following the herd, or retweeting word by word. It's not a popularity show. Hey, look at me. I'm kind-hearted for all to see. You can add a frame to your profile pic, but you're still cyber bully and bitch. You want to be viewed in a compassionate light, and then suddenly you'll switch. Kindness is not a temporary post. It's not a self-directed ego boast. It's the genuine fragments that you care. It's the selfless acts that are always there. So when you look back and see what you shared, yet you moan and protest and disparage, and gang up on those who disagree, and share posts by Nigel Farage. You seem to forget so quick. You swap your frame for another fleeting cause. You share the fuck out of your self-importance. No room for you to think and pause. So don't forget what is important. This is your final reminder. If you wear it, say it, mean it, and just be fucking kinder. Thank you. Okay, anything I need to be aware of there? I'll just do one more if that's all right. What's the time?
6 past 5.
Oh, that's pretty good timing then, not too bad, even if I say so myself. Whew, it's been an honour to be part of this again. Thank you, Gary, for asking me again. Punk for Homeless do loads of things, all up into, you know, live gigs as well. Sometimes I've heard. That's amazing, isn't it? Do they exist anymore? Will they ever? Who knows? But this is great fun, and it's a chance maybe to see acts. What? It's a storm got to my head. Acts that maybe you wouldn't get a chance to see, and of course, a good thing about this, if you wanted to, you could watch it again later, or just delete it from your memory forever, whatever you choose to do. So keep supporting them. It's great, great charity, and great, you know, what you're setting up as well for girls out in Sierra Leone as well. All right. So this is my final one, and this is a song that I usually end on with my band, with Cherry and Peach. And this one is dedicated to everyone who still likes to go out, get dressed up, listen to music, wear what the fuck they like, and still have that passion about how they used to be when they was a teenager. So this is dedicated to all of you, and it's called Yesterday's Kids. Let your music define your taste. Don't let creativity go to waste. Dare to wear and just don't fucking care. 'Cause those who object will always stare. So when we were goths, rockers, punks or mods, would acknowledge each other with subtle nods. 'Cause we were the tribes that defined the past. Teenage kicks, forever gonna last. It's all about belonging, feeling understood, being free to challenge if you could. 'Cause we never had no money, we created style from now. Always going somewhere, always going out. Felt part of a community, a colourful tribe. Each individual, difficult to describe. Within each world, we had our rules. Yeah, we had our fights and nasty brawls. 'Cause we would fight for our individuality, to define each section of our personality. It felt important to dress a certain way, but then growing up got in the way. But you never really change the passion that's deep. Internalise your youth forever to keep. So just be brave, keep your style, as we continue to attend gigs all the while. So do you still have your psychobilly heart, or the punk mentality, good at art? Just still buy your suits from a Jewish tailor, or new romantic hair, dressed as a sailor? Do you still wear black, even to bed? Don't need to shave to be a skinhead? Has your leather jacket seen better days? Is your tie-dye shirt from an acid haze? Are your badges older than the coppers on the street? Do you Dr. Martens mould to your feet? Do you still go to gigs? Wear the t-shirt? Does your body overexert? 'Cause we are the tribes that define their youth. These are our values and our truth, 'cause we're still the same but in ageing bodies. Still drinking cider or double bodies, 'cause you can't take our youth away from us. You can't take our youth away from us. You can't take our youth away from us. But just give us a pension pass for the bus. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching, listening, whatever you're up to. Please carry on watching. I think there's like a video thing next, and there's loads of other bits on. Sorry, I'm really bad memory. There's loads more on. Thank you so much. Keep supporting. Let me know if you want any merch from us as well, and we'll donate that towards charity as well. I can't get my words out. So thank you once again. I just need a little bit. I'm going to try and turn it off in a really subtle and nice way. But you'll probably see me wrinkly hand coming up, or my wrinkly face as I try and look at what it is. Actually, I'll get my daughter to do it. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Bye.